Welcome in or welcome back. My name is Leah from Lady Axe Gaming, and today we are back on the Crafting for Christ Christian Minecraft server. This is episode 7 of my survival series that I'm doing from this server. If you've missed any of the episodes, I will link the playlist for this series up at the end of this episode so you can go back and watch anything you might have missed. In the last episode, we ended up building this storage building here, and then we moved the portal to the spot it's in now, and I absolutely love the way it looks and how it turned out. It's not finished, it's a work in progress, but that is one of our projects for this episode. I have a couple of things that I want to get done in this episode, starting with finishing off the nether portal that we hung at the end of last episode. So we're going to get into that right now. I was having a hard time. I don't know if you guys remember, if you guys watched the last episode, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with this portal, but in between episodes, I kind of came up with a little bit of lore for this whole area that really helped me figure out what I wanted to do with the portal, which I'm really excited about. So like I said, we're going to get into that right now. And then we have a couple other things that I want to get to today. So as soon as we're done with the portal here, we will move right along to the other projects that I have planned for this episode. So we are just going to go to my storage, and I'm going to grab a few resources, a few materials. While I am working on this, I will kind of explain the idea behind what I'm doing. We've got everything. We've got some stone and some grass. So I'm just going to go ahead and start building. So my thought was, what I wanted to do is I actually want to add another small little island, another floating island that this nether portal is sitting on. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to dig down into the ground a little hole, hopefully about the same shape and size as the little island that I'm going to build, because I want it to look like this portal was once sitting on the ground, but whoever lives here or whoever came across this location was maybe some sort of explorer or scientist or whatever, and they came across this portal and wanted to do some research on it. So they decided they wanted to pluck it out of the ground so that they could get better access to it. And the act of pulling it out of the ground is what caused the shift in gravity in this area. Kind of like the portal has a magical aspect to it. And of course, it's not going to be as big of an island. It's going to be on the smaller side. I didn't want it to be super huge because this spot really isn't that big, and I don't want it to run into the tree, so its profile is going to be a little bit smaller. But I'm really hoping this turns out the way that I am envisioning it. So I've kind of got a base for the island. I'm gonna fly out here and kind of see what I think of that. It's not too bad. I might add some more stone on this side and maybe make it a little bit more pointed down here, kind of like what I did with these islands. We're gonna come up here. And then I was thinking for another way to get up here. Okay, so we have some vines here already, but I was thinking of maybe actually having some vines growing from a couple different sides, maybe like this side and that side of the island itself. Not only will that make it look overgrown and kind of tie it to the rest of the jungle around us, it will also give us another way to access the island if we need to get up to it from the ground rather than flying. That does mean that we're not going to have a bridge connecting the portal to any of these islands, and I think that's okay. I think I'm okay with that. I don't think it's going to make too much of a big deal if we don't have a bridge or anything coming to it, but it would be nice to have access to it from the ground if we needed to get to it, if like we didn't have our elytra for some reason, just in case. But anyways, I wanted to come back here to see how that looks. And I think that looks fantastic. All we need to do now is I'm going to add some moss and I'm going to add some of the vines. Also, if we add some grass blocks to the dirt, because I don't want it to all be dirt. So if we add some grass blocks, it should start turning to grass pretty quickly. I want it to be green and lush and beautiful, just like the jungle around it. We're going to add the moss and then we just bone meal. Maybe it was kind of like pointless to add the grass there. Oh well. I think I want to add some sort of detailing to the ground. Like some buttons and stuff to be like some rocks or pebbles. We did a little bit of detailing here. Of course, these islands are going to need a little bit more landscaping and also some terraforming. I'm going to have to add in some more greenery and stuff to them. I am going to grab some... I have some leaves here. I wanted to kind of... Oops, that's not what I wanted. Bring in some green to this portal. All right, so we added a little bit of greenery to the island for the portal. Oh, I absolutely love that. That looks so cool. I want to add some netherrack. I've never actually used these as decorative blocks before. This is kind of a new thing. I like it though. I'm gonna hide some back here. Maybe put some here. I don't know. Will these just sit on anything? Oh, they do. This is going to take out a lot of the green. And it's going to bring in, of course, some harsh red colors. But that should be fine. Oh, yeah. Definitely add some of this to the underside. I hadn't thought about that. Although I don't know if I like that. Let's see what we think of that. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. I absolutely love how that turned out. And adding just those minor details really did give life to the story of this nether portal here. I think it looks so great. But now that the portal is done, at least to my liking, we are going to move along to the next project that I have planned for this episode, and I am truly excited for this one because I have been waiting and itching to get started on this project. So we are going to head over to the community district to get that started right now. We are in the community district now, the community board. If you remember from last episode, I talked about how I have been over here working on digging out the mountains and putting in this sort of like dirt path that you see here in the sky, because this is going to be the layout for the ice track that I'm going to be building for this season on CFC. So this is what we're going to be working on for the remainder of this episode. I have to put in some ice. I don't know if it's going to be finished in this episode, but I'm at least going to start laying out the ice path itself. because I really want to get in the structure and like the direction that I want the ice path to go. And I know I originally showed you guys this as like the main direction or the main route that the ice track is going to take, but I'm actually thinking about expanding it to this side of the mountain as well. I think what I want to do is I want to have the ice track come out this way. I want to eventually also have kind of like a building here as part of the ice track. I don't know what that building is going to look like, but it would be nice. Instead of it being tucked into the mountainside, it'd be nice that when people are kind of like walking through the community district, if they're out this way or maybe they're flying around, to eventually get to a point, I'm going to expand this walkway here, this pathway here, and it's going to come up to the start of the mountains. There's going to have to be some terraforming and stuff done, but when people walk up, I want the ice track to come into view so that they know that that's what this is and that's what's here. So they don't have to like fly over the mountain to get to it. I really don't know how I'm going to do that, but that's what I want to do. But I might work on getting the rest of the shape of like the track, shaping the rest of the track on this side of the mountain, and then we will go and collect up the rest of the ice. I haven't really had to do a lot of ice collecting for this ice track. I have a lot of it already because my friend Happy Pineapples sells it from his shop in the shopping district. So I have a lot of the ice that I need already for this ice track, but I might need more. So we might have to do a little bit of ice gathering. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. And then once I'm done, I will be back and we will start placing some ice. I couldn't be more excited about this ice track, getting going on this ice track. So I hope you guys are excited too. See you in just a few minutes. And we're back, and I have added another portion of the ice track like I had mentioned. I'm gonna hop up here to show you. So if we come through here, as you can see, I've added a whole nother tunnel to the ice track. I've added this little junction here, and I'm definitely going to widen this out a little bit more. I don't want it to be too thin because it can be very hard for the boats to get by and you can get stuck on the edges and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to widen this out. But if we come through here, it comes through here and it kind of bends around and it comes out to this side of the mountain like I mentioned. And then we have another beautiful dirt line in the sky that goes all the way back around. And I originally had kind of punched a hole in the mountain right there because I didn't know exactly where the track came out at. So I don't know if I'll add another entrance there. I might. That might be fun to have another kind of little shortcut here. But the main part of it comes around the mountainside, and then it goes back into this tunnel here and connects up to over here. And you can see we kind of go through a kind of a small cave. I lit this up earlier. There was a bunch of mobs in here that I had to take care of. That was a lot of fun. If you come down here, you'll see that there's another junction, and it meets up with another portion of the ice track right here. And you can go into the mountainside this way. I feel like I might be a little bit off in my numbers. I might have to adjust it a little bit. This part might have to come down. So this is 79. This is going to have to come down another block, which is fine. This dirt part is temporary, of course, so we can always adjust it. That's why I did this, to get kind of a rough outline of where the track is going to go. And then of course I can adjust it as I put the ice in. And thankfully I have soak touch, so if I need to, I can move blocks around. But I thought it would be a good idea to get the ice part in first and get kind of like the general shape of the actual ice track. And then after I am done putting in the ice, I will go back through and start adding all the fun little details like the supports and stuff like that. I actually have some ice right here on me. I don't know if this is gonna be enough. I went through quite a bit of packed ice when I built the ice track in the last season. It was a lot. So this might be a good start, but I might have to get a little bit more Actually, we're going to take a little detour to the shopping district to see if Happy has any more for sale at his shop. Iced pineapples. I love this shop. This is so cute. I absolutely love it. I have a habit of buying Happy out of all his ice. So I'm gonna do this. Do I have enough space? Oh, okay. I bought him. I didn't buy him out, but I bought quite a bit. We might have to come back with another shulker to get more. But this should suffice for now. And like I said, if I need more, I can always come and buy more, or I can go mine some at an ice biome. So yeah, let's go ahead and we're gonna go back to the track. I put these in our lovely shulker sitting right here. So without any further ado, now that I have about 3 shulkers full of packed ice and some ice in my inventory, we are gonna get to starting this ice track once and for all. So if you're ready, I'm ready. I'd say this is a perfect time for a fun little time lapse of me building up this ice track. Let's get going. Back, and as you can see, there is now ice in the sky where there was once dirt, which is super exciting. And you might notice there's kind of a black outline around the ice. That is because a bunch of the community members have already started to use it, and it was a little bit hard going around in the loop because there was no safety railing and you would just fall off. And I mean, it was still kind of fun, but I thought I'd put up the safety railing so that we didn't have that happen and people could enjoy the track while it was still under construction. So I went ahead and did that, and I ended up, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more shaping. I really didn't plan this out very well. I probably should have drew up the plans, like the blueprints or whatever. I probably should have drew up the layout maybe like on a sheet of paper or something, because I really didn't have a plan. I didn't use any foresight, if you will, for this this ice track. I just kind of went with it, which is how I built the last ice track, and it went pretty well. I think people loved it. But I realized, I had to go back and kind of straighten this out. I had to figure out, where I wanted the curve to go. And I'm still going to have to do a little bit more shaping of this part of the track here and the other part that comes out on the other side, because they're still not 100% to my liking. But I really just wanted to get the ice in to kind of see where everything was going to go. And then I figured from there I could kind of tweak it to my liking. So right here, we're going to have to do a little bit more shaping as well. I also think that I'm actually going to go back through on the loop and fix it. I might widen it a little bit, because I'll show you. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a demonstration if I can find a boat. Hang on one second. It's a little bit hard. Oh, there's a boat right there. It's a little bit difficult to get around this corner or any of these corners right here, because this is 5 wide and you can do it. I mean, it's doable if you drift just right. You can do it. But you kind of do kind of like a bumper boat kind of thing once you get to the corners. And I mean, maybe people will like it. They might still enjoy it, but I mean, it might get annoying, especially if we decide to do events where you're racing multiple players at a time. It's just not conducive to a more multiplayer racing event, you know? So I don't know what happened. I just flung myself out of the boat. So I might go back and work on widening this out. Oh, look at that. I drifted so good in that. That was so good. I absolutely love that. But the next part of this, so there are a couple of parts. Wow, you can just kind of launch yourself out of the boat while you're moving. I had no idea. Learn something new every day in Minecraft, don't you? But there's a couple pieces to this ice track that I have to complete. The first part was, of course, the track itself. The next part is going to be the supports for the parts of the ice track that are kind of just out in the sky right now, up in the air. So as you can see, I've already kind of done one support here. So the next part of this is that I'm going to go around and I'm going to put in the supports all the way around this part of the track. And I'll probably also work on smoothing out that other side that comes out from the other side of the mountain. And I'll put supports there as well. And I think that's probably what we will do for the remainder of this episode. I'll probably even put in the side rails for here and over there and in the tunnels. I figured it'd be nice to get, the main part of the track done. So that way, while I'm working on the other bits, people can still use the ice track and enjoy it while it's still under construction. I thought that would be fun and people can use it at their leisure. I also wanted to show you, okay, so this was kind of great timing because there is another major project going on in the community district, not too far from the ice track, actually, over the mountains here. My friend Thunder and Dad and JJ and a couple other people from the community have actually started to build an arena for PvP and also for jousting, because we now have the spear. Oh my word, what is going on here? What? This was not like this yesterday or the day before. I have no idea what's going on here. What are they doing? Anyways, so this is the arena that is being built. And like I said, it couldn't be better timing because we're going to have an arena for PvP and jousting, and we're also going to have an ice track here in just a short time, I think. But now, like I said, we are going to turn our focus to putting in the supports for the ice track. I am going to do this in a time lapse. So if you are ready, I'm ready. Let's get to time lapsing and getting the supports in for this ice track. And we're back, and I have finished one section of the track. I have completed one section of supports for the track, and I am going to have to fix the length of the track a little bit because one side is about 1 or 2 blocks longer than the other. So I want it to be kind of symmetrical, but I think I did kind of find a solution to help with that. So I think I'm just going to fix this end over here. And then I kind of forgot that I do need to have supports on either side of like the lanes of the track. These supports will also be on this side, which means I'm probably going to need quite a bit more resources to finish all of the supports around this part of the ice track. And I also want to add some supports and fix this part of the track as well. Now that we have the first section of supports in, I don't want to do another time lapse because that is going to take too long. I am going to have to go back and forth probably to get resources, even though I do have quite a bit of resources on me already. My friend Sinessa was selling blackstone at her nether shop, and I purchased a bunch of blackstone. I have a bunch of quartz and stone and andesite and all that, and some netherrack and all the different block types that I was using for this project already on me, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Hopefully it is, and I won't have to do too much resource gathering. I will probably, if I do, I'll probably just do that off camera. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to do one of those spin around moves where I'm going to spin around. And when I stop, this track, at least half of the track, the supports and everything are going to be complete. And then I will show you the end result. And it is all complete. Well, mostly. The supports are in, and I have added all the copper adornments. I absolutely love how the supports for this track turned out. I remember kind of doing a mock-up in my creative world, and when I finally figured out a block palette and a design that I really loved, I couldn't wait to see it on the actual track itself. So now that it's done and completed, I absolutely love it, and it's giving me so many ideas for the rest of the build itself. I want to do some towers, and I'll come up here and I'll show you. We have the tunnels that I've started sort of working on to kind of make them a little bit more smooth. I want to add, like here, I want to maybe widen this a little bit and add the blackstone slabs going through the tunnels themselves. The tunnels still need a lot of work, and I've started a little bit of it, but there is still a lot more to be done to get these tunnels the way that I like them. But as it stands right now, I absolutely love the direction that this track is going. I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. I am going to go ahead and hop off here. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day, week, month, year, whenever and wherever you're watching from. And until next time, I will see you in the next episode. Bye!